You've felt it, haven't you? The pull in your chest that won't go away. The echo of a name you dare not say out loud. The angels say, his soul recognized yours before your hands ever touched. There's a reason this person came into your life the way he did. Unexpectedly, impossibly, like a book opening to the exact page your heart needed to read. The angels whisper that you aren't imagining the depth of this connection. It was chosen. You were sent. In the realm beyond this one, where light is language and silence is music, a divine appointment was made. You were placed in his path not to fill a role or ease a loneliness, but to awaken what was asleep, to stir what had hardened, to reflect back to him the truth of his own soul. That's why he's unsettled. That's why he looks away, then back again, with eyes that reveal too much and a mouth that says nothing. You touch something ancient in him. You remind him of a love he doesn't believe he deserves. The angels show me his spirit standing at a threshold. One step closer to you would mean leaving behind the life he built on silence. He wants to step forward, but something in him fears the light you carry. You weren't placed here to chase him. You were placed here to reveal him, to be the mirror that doesn't lie, even when he's not ready to see. And whether he speaks the truth or swallows it down again, the love still lives. Let your heart remember, you are not here by accident. You are part of a sacred architecture, a design far older than your wounds. As it is written, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. He disappears. Not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much. There's a place inside him, dark, unfinished, where love once knocked and was met with silence. And since then, he's built walls. Not to keep you out, but to prevent himself from crumbling. The angels say, he wants to love, but he doesn't know how to do it without losing pieces of himself. Every time you get close, it burns. Not because you're too much, but because you awaken what he buried. That's the secret no one sees. He's not afraid of you. He's afraid of the man he'd have to become to stand next to someone like you. You didn't break him, but your light exposes where he's still broken. So he pushes you away, gently sometimes, cruelly at others. He tells himself stories, she's better off without me. I'm not ready. This isn't real. But none of them quiet the storm. The angels watch him battle with ghosts you can't see, childhood shame, love that came with conditions, the kind of silence that teaches a boy to hide his heart. You ask, why can't he just love me? But love, for him, was never soft. It came with noise, confusion, loss. So when you offer him something different, a gaze without demand, affection without games, he doesn't trust it. He doesn't trust himself. And still, he returns. Again and again. Because even in fear, even while hiding, his soul remembers the safety it felt in your presence. The angels say, your love is not going unnoticed. It is softening the stone, drop by drop. Not to change him, but to call him home to himself. This is not rejection. It's resistance. A sacred unraveling of everything he thought he had to be. You can love him, and still choose yourself. There is no virtue in dimming your light to soothe someone else's shadows. The angels say, your radiance is not the problem, it is the medicine. But medicine, too, can be rejected by the body that isn't ready to heal. You've poured, haven't you? Quietly, consistently, hoping your softness would be enough to reach him. And maybe it did. But in the process, you forgot that your soul, your sacred beautiful essence, was not meant to shrink in the face of someone else's fear. This love was never meant to make you disappear. He needs space to grow. But you? You need nourishment. Not later. Not when he's ready. Now. Your healing is not a pause. It is the path. And as you tend to your own heart, with music, movement, prayer, solitude, you are not walking away. You are holding the container steady for what is still becoming. Let him find his courage. But do not wait in silence, starving yourself of joy. Live. Breathe. Laugh without guilt. Rest without shame. Receive what life offers without apology. Because your love is not made more holy by sacrifice. It is made more powerful by alignment. The angels show you standing barefoot on earth, head tilted to the sky, a woman who remembers her divinity. Not just as a lover, but as a soul. And when he sees you like that, alive in your fullness, untethered from the need to be chosen, he will remember the sound of his own longing. The kind of woman who chooses herself is unforgettable. Let that be your prayer today. I do not disappear to be loved. I bloom, and let love find me where I stand. He doesn't understand why he feels so exposed around you. Why your silence echoes louder than other people's shouting. Why your gaze makes him flinch and want to stay, all at once. The angels whisper, you are not just a presence in his life, you are a mirror. Not the kind that flatters. The kind that reflects what he tried to forget. Your gentleness reveals his harshness. Your steadiness confronts his chaos. Your honesty disarms his masks. And so he runs, not from you, but from the reflection. In your love, he sees the man he could be. And the boy he still is. And that is both beautiful and terrifying. He's never had to face himself like this. Never had someone hold up the mirror and not turn away from what was broken. Never had someone stay. Not to fix him, but to see him. The angels say, your light awakens his truth. But truth isn't always comfortable. It demands dismantling, of ego, of illusion, of control. You wonder why it's so hot and cold. Why one day he's open, and the next he's a stranger. But mirrors don't lie. And truth doesn't let us hide for long. This isn't about punishment. This is alchemy. You are not here to carry his healing. But your presence calls it forward. So when he avoids your eyes, when he forgets how to speak in your presence, when he stumbles over affection, know this, it's because something inside him is shifting. The mirror is still there. And it's showing him who he truly is, not the wounds he's worn, not the roles he's played, but the soul he's afraid to become. Let him see it. Even if he turns away for now, he will remember what he saw in you. And when he's ready to face himself, he'll return to the place where he first caught a glimpse. It began quietly. A word he almost said. A message he typed and deleted. A memory of you that showed up uninvited, again. The angels say, something sacred is waking up inside him. Not a choice. Not a plan. A current rising from the deep. He doesn't speak it aloud, but he feels it. In the way your name softens his thoughts. In the way he replays the sound of your laugh as if it holds a key to a door he didn't know he was ready to open. He used to be sure of who he was. Then you came. And now, nothing fits quite the same. The world feels different. Less sharp, more alive. He notices colors. Pauses to feel. He listens to music with a fuller heart. He looks at the moon and thinks of you. And the questions he never dared to ask are beginning to rise. Why do I feel her even when she's gone? Why do I want her near, even in silence? This is not obsession. It's awakening. Not to you, to himself. You were the spark. But what's burning now is his soul finally remembering its hunger. The angels say, you awakened something that no one else could. Not through seduction, but through truth. Through your presence. Through the way you saw him, not as he pretended to be, but as he almost forgot he was. And now, there's no turning back. No matter how much he tries to return to numbing himself, something inside him remains ignited. You were not just a chapter. You were the fire that turned the page. He comes. He goes. He leaves the door slightly open. And you wait with your heart partially open, wondering if love should hurt like this. The angels say, this isn't cruelty. It's confusion dressed as survival. This man has learned to protect what he cannot control. And you? You are uncontrollable. You stir the sea within him. Every time he steps close, he feels the weight of becoming. of shedding old skins, of choosing a love that demands truth instead of performance. And so, he retreats. Not to forget you, but to forget how deeply you make him feel. This cycle is not random. It follows the rhythm of his fear of surrender, fear of being seen too clearly, fear that you'll eventually leave, so he tries to leave first. But the angels show, each return brings him closer to the edge. Each silence is louder than the last. You may think he's playing a game, but in reality, he's unraveling. Because no matter how far he runs, your presence waits, not in pursuit, but in certainty. And that terrifies him more than any goodbye. You don't beg. You don't bargain. You just are. And your existence calls him home in a way he never anticipated. The angels whisper, this back and forth isn't forever. But it is necessary. Necessary for him to feel the ache of absence. Necessary for you to remember your wholeness. Let the tides rise and fall. The ocean never apologizes for its waves. And love, real love, doesn't vanish in the undertow. It remains, anchored in truth, even when one soul is still learning how to swim. Your love never shouted. It healed in silence. The angels say, he may never fully understand what your love did for him. But his soul does. It remembers. It softens when he hears your name. You didn't arrive to complete him. You arrived to remind him of what never left. The part of him still capable of tenderness. Still worthy of devotion. Still able to trust. He didn't know love could feel like this. Not like a storm, but like rain after a drought. Not overwhelming, but undeniable. The way you listened. The way you stayed soft when the world made him hard. The way you never tried to fix him, only to see him. That changed something. The angels show you holding space, not with hands, but with presence. A love that asked for nothing and gave everything. Even now, when he resists, when he doubts, your energy lingers around him like the scent of something holy. You didn't just love him. You restored him. Piece by piece, your affection reached the places he thought no one could touch. This love, your love, is medicine. Not because it cures him, but because it calls him to heal himself. He feels it in quiet moments. In the way he instinctively looks for you in a crowd. In the way peace comes when he remembers how you smiled. He doesn't say it. He may never say it. But your love is the only thing that didn't try to change him. It simply said, I see you. And I still choose you. That was enough to begin undoing every wound that told him he wasn't worthy. And that is why, no matter how far he strays, he will always find his way back to the memory of you. There are no accidents in the divine. Only alignment waiting for readiness. The angels say, this connection was written before your first breath. And every silence, every delay, every return, was part of the plan. He doesn't know how to name it. But something in him knows, this isn't casual. This isn't coincidence. You appeared not as a distraction, but as direction. And even when he doubts, even when he convinces himself he imagined it all, his spirit remembers. There's a timing to sacred love. A rhythm only the heavens can conduct. You've wondered, why now? Why like this? Because this is how divine love works. It waits until the heart is cracked enough for light to enter. He is being led. Not by logic, but by whispers in the dark. Moments he can't explain. Dreams he can't shake. Longings that refuse to quiet. The angels show him to pause more. Listening. Not to words, but to the truth that echoes in your absence. This isn't about fate. It's about trust. Trust that what is meant for you cannot be missed. Trust that delay is not denial. You are not being punished with waiting. You are being prepared. He is being prepared. And when both souls are aligned, not in perfection, but in surrender, the path will clear. Until then, rest in this promise. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 he wants to tell you. He almost does. But the words get caught somewhere between his ribs and his past. Because to speak what he feels for you would require breaking the silence he was raised to live inside. The angels say, he was never taught how to stay when the feelings get loud. So he closes the door gently, hoping you won't notice the tremble in his hands. He chooses distance, not because he wants space, but because he doesn't know how to be seen. Love like yours scares him. Not because it wounds, but because it heals in ways he doesn't feel ready for. He looks at you and sees a softness he's never known. A safety he doesn't trust. Not because you are unworthy, but because he is afraid of being worthy. You ask yourself, why is it so hard for him to open up? Because to open would mean to risk. To risk would mean to remember. And remembering hurts. The angels show his heart like a room with locked drawers. Inside them, the first time he cried and no one came. The time he was told to be a man before he was ready. The love that was conditional. And now there you are, offering acceptance without demands, affection without strings attached. He doesn't know what to do with that. So he falters. He pulls away. He acts like he doesn't care. But the truth is, he's drowning in what he can't express. The angels are with him, holding the space he cannot hold for himself yet. And they are with you, reminding you that his silence is not the end. It's the waiting before the opening. The breaking before the bloom. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147 verse 3 There comes a time when waiting turns into wisdom. Not the kind that demands answers, but the kind that bows to mystery. The angels say, what is yours will not require you to betray your peace. You have done your part. You have loved without losing yourself. You have stayed open without chasing. You have honored the silence without making it your home. This is where you surrender. Not out of defeat, but out of reverence for the divine timing that governs all sacred things. He may return. He may speak the words you always longed to hear. Or he may stay on the edges of his own fear a little longer. But either way, you are free. Free to hold your head high. Free to trust that no connection guided by heaven can be broken by human confusion. You did not come here to convince someone to choose you. You came here to remember that love is not proof of your worth. Your worth is the altar on which love is offered. The angels whisper, rest now. You are not waiting. You are becoming. And in becoming, you will attract not only his return, if it is meant to be, but also every blessing you thought you had to earn. So let the tide carry what it must. Let the silence speak its own language. Let the love live in its own way. And remember, the right soul does not need to be chased, only recognized. Let go, and let the heavens work.